me being who I am, I can take anybody and transform them into who I want them to be. A woman cannot do that.
That's not true.
In most cases.
That's not true.
Okay, she's not willing.
No, I'm
to
saying
do
that no man can take a woman and transform her into what he wants her to be. She came in and is willing to allow you to tell her what you want and sure submit to those. You're
Yes.
not God, and you're not the potter maker. So your hands ain't on no pot, sweetie, taking a woman and conforming. You just don't have that power. You probably would like to, but you don't have that power. You can take her, like I just said before, with the womanizer and the guy who, me being in your studio, and say, baby, these are the qualifications, and she chooses, which is her free will to never be yours, to hit them points or not. And when she chooses to hit them points, you then choose to keep her or you choose to shake her. Because you can never take water, you can never take water, baby, and make this 7-Up. You can pour it out and fill it back up, but this will never turn to what you wanted. You're not Jesus. You ain't turning water to wine. That's not how it happens. Now, you can't take a woman and make her what you want. You can tell her what you want, and I'm gonna give her power back, and she'll choose to be that. But you don't get the power of saying you made her that, whether an entrepreneur or a mother or a wife. She chooses to let you do that by telling you, I'll submit to those orders. There's not me, not you. No one has that power.
But the
Thank
only
God.
reason why a person is considering what I need them to be, or will prefer them to be, or
Let's
would
see what
like
you
them
say.
to be, is because of my value as a man. If I did not have any value.
That's not why. I love that you think that.
but
It's for
listen.
the payoff that they get. It's their payoff. Everything we
What's the
do is for
payoff?
our payoff. It's subjective. So I can say what I think. Let me say this. A woman who would be with a man of your value and become everything you want her to become, because you ain't gonna make her, okay? The payoff would be she gets to be provided for. We're talking about the high value part. She gets to live in a beautiful home. She gets this high quality of life. She gets to be able to possibly have a family with a man who also, has a celebrity status, right? She gets to be in the limelight somewhat. Maybe she has a business, and maybe this relationship is a strategic relationship for her. She can use this to kind of maneuver or what she has going on.
Right.
See, so the answer will be different from a high-functioning woman than a low-functioning woman. Me, high-functioning, I'm listing what I'm thinking. Strategic relationship.
For sure.
I'm a doctor.
For sure.
I can move in. I got limelight. You have a lot of limelight.
Right.
Retired NFL player. Okay, in my opinion, Hall of Famer. So we got things that can benefit me as a payoff because I'm a professional who's high functioning.
Yes.
I'm not looking at it like I can nest in you, move in, put my feet up, and now I can live free. Now, another woman subjectively could think that that's the value, but there's a payoff for why we do anything we do in life. We all have a pay, and it doesn't make it bad. That's life. It's always an exchange of, I will submit to these things that Cam wants because these are the things that I know would come with me submitting.
I'm having a hard time to believe a very educated, a very attractive woman out of 41 years have not met Mr. Right. That's enough time to find a lot of things out.
I bet.
And yet, no kids, single. I'm not, but I am saying, are women's expectations unrealistic?
No, I'm gonna say, like I said on Nick, the question shouldn't be why isn't a woman of age, of success, of a certain caliber not married with kids? The question should be, why are people rushing to the altar just to become divorcees or baby mamas and baby daddies? I think if anything, we need to be teaching our society, take your time, young man or young woman, so that you can get to know not just this person, but yourself first, so that you can choose a life partner, not that that person isn't exempt to divorce, instead of rushing to the altar just to become a divorcee or a baby mama and have multiple kids by multiple women, just to say you have broken families everywhere. I don't see no benefit in that. I believe, like I tell my brother, he's in here, Shane, all the time, and who's 31 with no kids and doing well for himself, take your time. You don't need to rush to an altar just to divorce this woman. And another thing is people who actually feel high valued within themselves, not financially, internally they feel high valued. They're not rushing to have a wife or a husband at the expense of divorce just to feel like they've added value to themselves. Because it's a deficit if you're marrying for the wrong purposes. It is an asset if you're marrying from a place of creating a family, of creating stability, of raising kids who can see this thing move and this house not be homeless, but this house have wealth in it, the real wealth that actually sustains. And so for me, I'd rather take my time choosing than end up doing time because I'm making wrong decisions. I'm good.
So a lot of people see my situation and not think that I'm not high functioning.
What situation?
See my situation? That's a very vague question, and it's for you
What
to even-
situation are you referring to that they're looking at and thinking is not high functioning?
Just my life.
Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
My life.
See, don't deflect. Let's stay here. Your life entirely, or your life in relationships?
Both, really.
And they think that you're low functioning.
No, I don't.
You just said people see your life and think you're not high functioning. The opposite of that would be low functioning.
No. Okay, so here you go. You're trying to take my intentions away from. This is. Can I correct it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Or can I give you more?
Yeah, some more information. Heck yeah.
So, I'm not married, right? I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now,
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I
I'm
just
saying,
want
or
God
by
to
your
bring
wife?
him. I just want God to bring him.
Oh, okay. And you have, so you just
Because
bring 'em,
my
okay.
point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Brian, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time. You're being very action-based.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active, okay? So you're creating, in disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies, because I can't wait to be a mom, and I love the kids, period. But you are proactively choosing where you want to be active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you thus far, but these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all, will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. So at what point do you feel the fear, do it anyways? And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I am going to create these homes. Let me go better. I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody who you're spending your life with. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and it's selfish.
Just tell me when I can solve.
Yeah, almost. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box. It's unhealthy. And it's a huge dysfunction within our Black community that I truly believe personally, statistically, mental health-wise, and community-wise, that Black men would stop.
Black men will what?
Stop doing that, that they would stop that dysfunctional behavior of compartmentalizing and creating houses, not homes, and then finally a home with the wife And then you have all these other houses that are homeless, but you over here at some point when you do get a wife, if you do, I'm saying if that's what you want, you will. You'll get whatever you want. You're trying to create a home. Totally dysfunctional and extremely, that's the epitome of selfish. Epitome of selfish. I'm done. You can go for it.
Okay, say less. All right, so what identifies as a broken home?
What you have going on with these, whoever you're not in the house with is a broken home. It's called a blended family. It's called a blended family.
That means?
That the family is blended. So blended
So
means,
blended means broken?
yeah.
Okay, so the guy that you were entertaining, you would go as low as 26.
That I would entertain?
Yes.
Got it, okay.
And as high as what age?
Whatever man that doesn't have kids.
As high as?
Whoever doesn't have kids, whatever age he is with no kids.
I just.
No, that's the age. I'm saying I don't have an age range as far as how old if he has no kids.
So your
he's a candidate.
non-negotiable is a person who does not have children.
My non-negotiable is a person with kids, but yes, I get how you're saying it, yes.
So you cannot date a person. You cannot be with a person.
I can, but I'm choosing not to.
So
I can be with anyone, but I'm choosing not to.
You're.
I gotta correct it. It's my narrative, Cam.
You're
I
like
can,
jumping in, jumping out. It's either.
Cam. No, it's not I can't. There's no such thing. I can date whoever I want. I am definitely well equipped to do so.
Okay.
So I'm not going to allow that word to be something that fits what I can't do. I'm well equipped to date anybody.
Yes.
My preference,
Yes.
because there's nothing wrong with a lot of men who have kids, so I don't want to put that narrative out there.
Yes.
My personal preference is I would not choose to date a man with kids.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're dating a man with kids. Just a scenario.
Oh, okay, got it. Yes.
You're dating a man with kids.
Yes.
So you've identified that that's a broken home from the jump. With your verbiage of blended family means broken.
I've identified that I'm dating a broken man who is creating who he is, because we could teach what we know, we create who we are. And so broken people create brokenness, whether it's through a child, whether it's through a relationship, whether it's through themselves. It doesn't have to be a beautiful baby, but you're creating brokenness. And broken people can come from married households. I'm not saying that a two-parent household can't create the result of a child who then has brokenness and creates broken blended families everywhere. I'm not negating that.
That's not my point.
No, I know, I'm making that point. But yes.
But my point.
My answer is I not only identified that those homes are houses without a home because he's not in them,
Yeah.
but also that he's a broken man.
But you're going to be with a broken man.
No, I won't. I just said I wouldn't be with a man. I wouldn't be with a broken man who has multiple kids. I will take
No, not multiple. I'm
well,
talking.
a kid. It doesn't matter.
So you're
I don't
not
wanna-
going to date a man with children.
No, but let me clear this up because you said I won't date a broken man. That's not what I said.
No, I said, are you? Listen to what I'm saying.
I heard you.
Doc.
Let me answer it. Hold on. We all have a level of brokenness. So will I date a broken man? Yes. Am I going to date a certain type of brokenness? No.
Of course you're not.
And that type of brokenness is a man who has kids outside of me isn't something that's conducive for what I want forever.
But will you date him?
No.
So that goes to my point. I'm trying to ask a question. You have two different men right here. One man who has.
I will not date a man with kids.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Yes. I will
But
not.
do you understand, just off of the statistics,
Here we go. Go ahead and be a statistic and say it because I hear it all the time. And
what?
say it.
You say what you're saying, and I'm going to either.
Based on
agree
statistics, most men have kids. Go for it.
at your age.
But that's why I said early on, Cam, when you said young and remember the patience of me being older woman, I said, well, for a woman who has certain qualifications or criterions like no kids,
Yeah.
that would be, I have to have enough brain cells to know, baby, that's the payoff. Okay, he may be younger, successful, no kids, but now you have to make sure you implement the patience. Or you get you an older man who has kids, and he could have been married with his kids. There's a lot of different scenarios why men have kids, okay? But then you don't have to have as much patience with him as maturity-wise. But do you want to have patience to say, and it's not even dealing with, because that's not bad. You want to have enough patience to gut the fact that you are dating a man with young kids or grown kids, and that's against what you want, your value system. For me, I rather choose the poison of, I'll have patience with you, baby. We'll just have to figure this out, and I'm cool with that, and we'll have a good time in the meantime. Then I know that you have kids. It's against something I never wanted as a child. And now, if you have young kids, I'm gonna be very involved because I'm a loving woman. I'm never gonna take
But you're giving a scenario that you're saying
that wouldn't
not,
do.
That, yeah.
Right, and those are the reasons why I wouldn't do them.
For sure.
Because I'm gonna be involved, right? I'm never gonna be a woman who's not.
But I must defend this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I have 8 children. And
8 beautiful babies.
I will not, no baby mother of mine could ever say that she's a single mother, because single mother insinuates that she has no help. So for me in my situation, life be lifing. That's a common.
Yeah, it does. I agree.
And my situation is a product of life happening.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and none of us are exempt from it.
of course.
Right.
So
right,
we have preferences.
100%.
We have things that we could say, okay, I would love to do this.
Right.
I'm raised in a church, so my father would always direct us to say, hey, be this, be that, be that, be this.
Right.
But I can also tell my father this, your reality is not my reality.
100%.
You walking into 7-Eleven is different than your son walking into 7-Eleven.
Sorry.
Makes sense to you. So I can agree with you, and we can agree to disagree, that I'm not creating broken homes. I'm doing the best with the situation that I was given and am given. So hands-on father, absolutely. I don't subscribe to just bringing fatherless children or motherless children into this world. I have an unbelievable relationship with the mothers of my children. And it's healthy co-parenting that we show the children real love, real communication,
Right.
real orders of operations. And I think that's key, because even though we have this unspoken societal pressure to do this and be this, but that's just not, that's a unicorn that you're waiting for. Because if I'm sitting up here telling you like, yo, I have aspirations to have this, but my experiences have shown me that that person really doesn't exist. So when I'm asking or I'm asked questions of, is the expectations unrealistic?
Right.
Because my reality has garnered unbelievable connections with women around the world. Not in Africa, I haven't been in Africa, right? But at the same time, I've been able to make the best of my situation. And I can't say that that situation ever resulted into a broken home.
Got it. So this is my thing. You can label it whatever your hurt ego needs it to be labeled so that
Her?
you feel good about your choices. But at the end of the day, a family consists of a dynamic. And that dynamic consists of 2 parents and a child. And when you start to create that multiple times, that's called a blended family. And when there's somebody missing from the home, but they are the school daddy, meaning I pick them up or drop them off to school, or they are the sports mother or father, I come to the games, but they're not the, I wake up and go to sleep with my kids, that household now is broken by the, by the family dynamic. That does not mean,
You're
Cam.
not describing me.
That does not mean, Cam, that you are not a dynamic father. That does not mean that you don't have a great relationship with him. I'm talking about the political construct of a family.
Societal construct, political construct,
If
however
that's,
you want to work.
if you want to,
But
that's what I'm saying. If you
you're
want to
saying
call it that,
things-
that's fine. Listen,
Those things that you
whatever we label
express,
it doesn't change
I
our
do
decisions,
that,
though.
That's what I'm trying to, that's what you don't understand.
So all of your baby mamas live in one house?
No, they do
Okay.
not. But my children stay with me.
So then it's still a broken
That's what I'm
household. The
trying to tell
mothers
you.
aren't in your home. So it doesn't make a
But
difference.
that's making the best of the situation.
Right. And listen, and let me say this. That part I agree with. That part, I admire in you.
Okay.
That part, I think is amazing.
Right.
Cam, look at me. That part, I say thank you for being a man who's vertical, who stood up and dealt with his decisions, whether it was decisions you liked or you didn't, or you planned or you didn't, and you did what you had to do. That's called a man, baby. So thank you for being a man.
Yes, ma'am.
And doing your thing, seriously, with the best that you have. I think that's amazing.
Right.
And I say this, follow up, not to negate everything I just said, because I truly believe that and feel that. And I love that you did that. You didn't leave them fatherless. My father didn't leave me fatherless. It changed my life because he didn't leave me fatherless. I used to sit with him randomly and say, Daddy, thank you. For what? For not making me a fatherless little girl. Because I ain't out here desperate. And I got a daddy I can come home and nest in. I got a daddy I can come home who's a gangster, a street dude. I can make a phone call and you
And
there.
it's done.
And you there. So I ain't looking for no street, excuse my language, nigga, to save me. I got my savior. I'm good. And the street dude to save me may crucify me. I'm good. Daddy ain't gonna crucify me. See, there's a difference. So with you, I'm saying thank you, because my father has 6 of us by 5 different women, but he was a father. And so when you say, Doc, but I'm a daddy, don't negate that. I hear you more than you believe me hear you, because I had a daddy who was a father. And he wasn't in the house with all of us, but from a woman who was a little girl who had the best daddy I've seen a girl have straight up to this day. Am I saying you ain't, but that's my daddy. I wasn't in the house with him. So the things that whoever he was in the house with, that environment is different from me coming over and seeing it. Now, for your babies, they all live with you. Their environment is different from when they go with mommy, and mommy has whoever's in that house. So the roles have just switched, but it still makes, not the kids, hear me out, it still makes the household dynamic is a blended, broken household. It doesn't mean that your babies have to grow up broken. This is what I want to be clear on. It doesn't mean that you as a father can change their life. I beat the odds of being a baby mama because I had a daddy that wasn't in the house, but he was in my life, he was in my ear, he was in my ass about decisions. So this is why I'm saying the household, baby, is still broken, but it doesn't mean your kids have to be. But it's about coming into awareness of what really is. And like my father knew, he had blended families, broken homes, but he tried to overcompensate, and he did in every way he could by being a daddy. So that's all I'm saying is we can label it what we want, but the reality is this is what a blended family looks like, unless you're telling me it's polyamorous, and you're not. This is what a broken household looks like. Now, let me go further. Do broken households make for good people? You damn right. I'm not a statistic. I ain't perfect. I work through my stuff. I come from the inner city, the hood. I'm a product of teenage parents, a dope dealer and an addict who is now sober and killing it. My mom was a VP of my company, runs everything, got her own business, and I'm a doctor. So people like me come from situations like that. So I'm always advocate for it, but I'm always keep it real about what it is. Because in order for us to take it and heal it and do something with it, we gotta call a damn duck a duck so we know where to put it, what to feed it, how to do it, and what it needs. We can't be in this society as Black people and want to give things different words so that it makes us feel better about our decision. The decision is made. It is a broken home. It is a blended family. And now what are we going to do with these beautiful babies? So that your son, you got boys? I'm guessing out of 8, you got to have some boys. So that your boys make different and better decisions than daddy did. Not that you didn't do the best of what you had, but so your boys can say, Daddy, I admire you, but I did it different. Daddy, thank you for not letting me be fatherless, but I did it different. Your daughter can say, Daddy, I only married him and got all 5 kids with just one because 2 things, you was in my life, and because I didn't have to choose from despair, and because I love you, but I didn't want to have 3 or 4 or 5 kids by multiple men. So I chose different than you. But watch this. But he has these similarities about you that I love. He's loving. He won't leave me hanging. He's stable. He got my back. Because that's what I love about you. But your choices is what I didn't choose in this man, and that's okay. I don't choose my father in men who have the multiple kids, but I choose my daddy in men who are solid and who got my back and who love me unconditionally and who dote on me and still treat me like his baby at 41. That's all I'm saying. So you're doing a hell of a job, thank you. But the situation is what it is. It's the reality of it.
I can talk.
Yes.
Okay. Whew. Now, we gonna press the space bar with that real quick, and we have to get to our game.
We have a game?
Oh, you don't play games?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I love games. I'm
All right.
excited. I was excited.
I'm pretty sure 26 don't come with a lot of games.
Men like Cam Newton wouldn't be able to do what he does if women didn't allow it. It always goes back to what we as women allow. I know Cam Newton is a celebrity, so in the celebrity world, it is a different world, but it's still men and women, and there's still standards. And unfortunately, right, we as women get too caught up in the status and the money and the fame that we lose all of our morals. That man said on that interview and made every excuse and made no sense to me as to why he's not married. All I heard was, I don't have to marry any woman. They're going to still give me children that I want. He wants more children. They're going to still take care of me. They're going to still have smacks with me. They're going to do what I want. Why would I marry them? You had a woman who talked all about a man got to marry me. A man got to make sure he puts a ring on it before I have a child with him. And it still didn't happen. So it's really like, girl, that's laughable. You talked all that stuff and all I had to do was come to you with a couple dollars and present this lifestyle to you, and all the moral standards go out the door. Creating broken homes is a problem. And unfortunately, money is the root to it all. That money will make us as women forget what we stand on and what we believe. A man is a man. And if, again, as always, if we as women stop doing what we do, men couldn't do it. We could change the game, ladies, for any man, the bottom of the bottom man, the average man, the high earning man, the high value man. If we said no, we were a monolith in this area, we're not doing it. Unless you give me a ring, it's not happening. No, ma'am. But we see the difference in the black community, in the YT community, and the Asian community. It's different. We have to set the standard so that way no man can sit up there and talk about how he just want to have kids with whoever guy drops the kids, decides to be with. That interview annoyed me so bad because I'm just like, the woman that he's with now, her, Jasmine Brown, the comedian, how he was talking in that interview to me showed me exactly what he feels about that woman, unfortunately. And you have to be content and understand and know that I'm probably not going to be the wife. And that's unfortunate. But it's the reality of when you don't set standards, that's the hand that you'll be dealt.
I write a long post on Instagram because I usually do, but I don't feel like I'd rather just talk. So I am so happy that Cam Newton had that interview with that doctor. I don't know what type of doctor she was, what her practice, whatever. But I'm so happy that he had a conversation with her. The part that made me the most happy is the fact that she told him the whole truth. Respectfully, but she told him the whole truth. Because Cam Newton was like, look, people think I'm low functioning, however, he describes that, because I'm not married yet, but I got, 8 kids by 3 baby mamas. I want 3 more. And she asked him like, well, how many more baby mamas you want? He like, I just want some kids. I just want God to give them to me, whatever, right? But like most men, he's very unaware of the effect that this has on his children. Because he said, I'm taking my time. I'm just kind of taking my time trying to make the right choice. She was like, no, you're very much active. Not only are you active, but it's a very selfish act. Because he thinks, listen, just like a lot of men, I got the money, I take care of my kids. And with him being in a great position, being an ex-football player, he got the money to do it. He take care of all his kids, probably even a baby mama, all that type of stuff. And so he thinks, listen, that's enough. I take care of my kids. Everything is squared away. But you don't realize, which a lot of men do not realize, and I'm not beating up on men, because if you know me, I'm a men's advocate, also a men's coach, and a men's consultant. But what most men don't realize is that it affects the children very much. It doesn't matter if they have all the clothes that they need, if they have a great network, if they go to all the best schools, if they're connected to all the famous friends' children, all of this type of stuff. What they need is their daddy, their father, living in the house with them. Why? Because a father does so much. All the time, we see men, and a lot of us men, our fathers have been in the same predicament. You know, they think just having the money is enough. As long as you are taken care of financially, or as long as I'm in your life, even if I'm in and out of your life, or it's not just constant, I'm there, so I'm parenting you, I'm a good dad. Or as long as I'm taking care of things financially, everything is squared away. But that's not the truth. Your child needs you in the home. Why? Because everything is not supposed to just fall on the mother. There's so much for the man to do. As a father, you need to be imparting identity into your children so they have a healthy self-esteem. You need to be there to discipline them. Also, nurture them at times. Also, they want your wisdom. They want your advice. They want to be around you. Your children want to glean from you. They want to be like you in ways. They want to know that anytime I needed my daddy, I could just go upstairs and he was there. I could just go to the room or whatever, but my daddy was always around. When I had a nightmare, I could run into my father's arms. When I was troubled, when I needed advice, when I needed wisdom, I could run to my father. When the kid is sick or when the kid is troubled, usually it's only the mother in the house with the kid. So now what happens? Now the mother is sick trying to take care of the kid while the kid is sick, and now she got to make sure the kid gets to school, make sure she get to work, make sure all of these things are taken care of, when daddy should have been there to aid and assist in taking care of his child, not just the weekend or this semester or this year or this summer, but the day to day, the everyday of their lives. And so I'm so happy that she had this conversation with him, because it annoys me how oftentimes on the internet we see these conversations happening between famous people or people that's big on social media or whatever, and nobody really corrects those notions in interviews and different things like that.
It's not a hard concept to understand that if you as a man, you have a child with someone, or you have 8 kids with 3 or 4 different baby mamas, and then you still want to get married to someone that is not one of the parents to your child, it is not hard to understand that yes, that is technically a broken home. It's not hard. We as men talk about how important it is that kids have their fathers in their life, but then when we talk about a broken home, all of a sudden we're like, no, it's not a broken home because I provide for my kids financially, provide for my baby mamas, I give my baby mamas homes, I give my baby mamas money. As we all know, there is so much more to being a father than just providing shelter, providing finances, and being there for your kids some of the time. First off, if you have 8 kids by different women, there's no way you can be there for all those kids equally. You will spread yourself thin. You will have to miss some occasions, especially during graduation season. What about those nights where you want to be with dad because you had a bad dream? What about those nights where you want to come home for school or wait for dad to come home and tell them how great your dad was, but your child can't do that because dad's with his other family? I understand I'm not a father. I understand that I'm not a parent, but I understand where that therapist was coming from, and she was more than right. There's so many things, little microscopic things that you can miss if you have a bunch of different kids by a bunch of different women that your money, your resources will never be able to fix within that child.
This interview, chef's kiss. Being able to see Cam Newton meet a woman who he can't overtalk, he can't manipulate the conversation. See, people like Cam Newton, they like talking to people who yes men, or somebody who's going to allow them to say whatever they want to, not call them on their BS and manipulate the conversation. He couldn't do that with this lady. He couldn't do that with her. There's levels to women. You got women you can play with, and then you got women that you can't play with. This woman interviewing him is a woman that you can't play with. Men like Cam Newton hate this type of woman, right? Because men like Cam Newton like to say a lot, but don't be saying nothing. But they love women who won't call them out on the fact that they're not saying nothing. Because they like to be the one to control the conversation and manipulate the conversation, and they can't do that with this type of woman. He started the conversation off himself, saying that a lot of people see his situation and think that he's not high functioning. And then when she repeated back to him about him not being a high functional man, he tried to change up what he said. No, you said it correctly. A lot of people do not view you as a high functioning man because you're not. You're a broken man, as she went to say as the conversation went on. No high functioning man is going around creating a bunch of broken homes with a bunch of different women. That's not what high functioning men do. That's what low functioning men do. That's what selfish men do. That's what low value men do. It's funny how y'all had so much to say about Simone Biles' husband embarrassing her, but y'all don't never seem to have the same energy for the men who truly be out here embarrassing the women that they be with. That Jazzy girl was out here singing this man's praises. Every chance she gets, she's somewhere bigging him up and praising him. But even in a conversation about having more kids, this man don't even acknowledge her. He don't even say that the woman he with that he want more kids with. He talking about that God can kind of bring it to him somehow. Right? As if that's basically, it doesn't matter what woman these next few kids come from. He just know he want more children. Cam Newton don't do nothing but talk in circles. He just keeps saying a whole bunch of stuff and never actually making a point. When he had the interview with Brittany Renner and she questioned him about marriage, he BS'd her on the answer. This lady, when she asked him about marriage, she didn't allow him to BS her about the answer because she already knew the answer. The answer is simply, you're a selfish man. It's all about what you want. Yeah, you are taking your time when it comes to marriage because you're going to do it on your time when you want to do it. However, when it comes to you making these broken homes, you don't ever consider what it does to the children. And that is a selfish act. There's no way to twist and turn it any other way. It is a selfish act as a man for you to be sleeping with these women unprotected and continuing to have kids. And you cannot be in every one of those households and you are intentionally doing it. It is very selfish, right? Sitting up and compartmentalizing what's important to you and excluding what should be important to you based off of the best interest of your kids, right? He's a very low vibrational man. And it's unfortunate that a lot of these low vibrational men get a pass because they got money. And a lot of women will look over their character flaws because they got money. And this is the reason why they continue to act the way they do, because they know they get a pass.